Welcome once again, everybody, to another segment of The Curious Case of Cody Rhodes. Cody this week and Brandy have both decided that they will not be re-signing with AEW and instead have decided to test the market. There have been rumors on everything from him going back to WWE to this all being a work to him just taking some time off. It is your chaos, James, to the point where I'm not even entirely sure where to begin.
So, just from beginning to end, linear storytelling. Sorry, Christopher Nolan. Cody has been working without a contract since roughly December. It's been a handshake deal. He cut that promo after the ladder match online, and they talked about it. He's been working without a contract, and the belief was they were going to get to a deal. The belief was that Cody and Tony were going to get to a deal, and that's why the storyline with him as TNT champion happened. That's why Brandy's been on TV as recently as last week with Dan Lambert, who wasn't on TV this week, shockingly. And then the deal just never materialized. The deal was getting harder and harder to come together. The day before it was announced that Cody was leaving was when lawyers got involved for both Cody's side and AEW side. And eventually they both decided it would be better for him to leave. And first, Tony Khan made the announcement on Twitter or social media, followed by Cody's statement and then Brandy's statement. Lots of rumors have been swirling, like you said. Maybe he's going to WWE. Maybe this is a work. All signs are pointing that at the very least, this is not a work. It's not guaranteed he's going to WWE. It's strongly looking that way. And there are multiple reasons why this could be happening, or multiple possible reasons why this could be happening. One being that Cody was upset that he lost his power as booker, I believe at the end of 2019 or early 2020. And with all of the new stars coming in, such as Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Adam Cole, Cody became less of an integral part of the show and more just a cog in the machine, which is what he didn't want. Some rumors indicate maybe this was how people viewed Brandy backstage, and this was Cody coming to his wife's aid. I personally don't subscribe to that theory. And some are just saying maybe Cody wanted more money than AEW and Tony specifically was willing to give him. And Vince McMahon has that fuck you Saudi Arabia money. And why not spend it on a giant middle finger to AEW by taking in a founder and EVP? I hope I summarized that beautifully, or as well as I could. My own feelings on it real quick. I'm really sad, guys. I'm really sad, and I'm really hurt as a wrestling fan. Let me just say from the get-go, if this was the decision Cody thought was best for himself and for his family, more power to him. I get it. It is what it is. But I personally don't agree with it on almost any level, really. I've been a fan of Cody since his initial run in WWE. I remember when he left on his own terms because he felt he deserved better. I remember when he created that list of all the names he wanted to wrestle on the indies in Japan, in Impact, and Ring of Honor. I remember when he became Ring of Honor champion. I remember when he got the Bullet Club into one of the best stories the Bullet Club has ever been a part of. I remember the tweet where he bet Dave Meltzer that he and the Bucks could sell out a 10,000 seat arena, and then did that for All In. And I know how All In led to AEW and its existence as we know it. So for this man to have done all of that, for this man to have spent the last 5 years just constantly throwing the middle finger at WWE, taking jabs, smashing Triple H's Throne, all these things that he's been doing, for him to then go back to WWE, it makes me sad because I'm invested in AEW. And a lot of that investment comes from Cody's involvement. And it just feels like this special piece. I know Cody's very divisive, but this special piece is just piecing out. And I don't know, maybe if I knew more from Cody's perspective, I would understand better. But he's going back to the place that treated him like crap. And yeah, his stock is higher, but his name's not Roman Reigns. What's the point? I don't know. Maybe I'm just a mark, but this kind of hurts in a weird way.
I think that's the thing that confused me most, was that Cody spent the better part of, was it the last 5 years or so, railing against WWE and the way they did things, and to an extent, although a little more subtly, how he was treated there, especially towards the end. And now he has one thing not go his way, what, in these contract negotiations, or maybe more than one thing with the negotiations, whatever it is. But he has a couple of things not go his way, and he decides that not only he's going to leave the company he helped found and was an integral part of, Danny, he decides that he's going to go back to WWE, the place he's been railing against and fighting against for half a decade. And at least for me, that almost makes him feel like a spoiled brat.
Oh, I'm right there with you, and like I agree with everything you just said. I agree with pretty much everything James just said, and same thing. Like I'm a big Cody fan. Like maybe not recently, maybe not the past 6 months or so, or maybe not 4 out of the past 6 months, because I really thought this TNT title run was about to go somewhere, but that apparently that it was going to WWE. But I am so disappointed with this, and we don't know everything yet, right? And like James said, maybe Cody has a side of the story, but honestly, I doubt whatever it is. Fuck his side of the story. It's not going to be enough to make me like think this is a good idea. Like the only way this is a good idea is if it's some like overly complex mark bullshit where it's like he goes to WWE for 2 years and then goes right back to AEW. Like, and even then, like, was it really worth it? Like, I don't know, but like I don't see the point. And that being said, if he shows up in WWE, I'm not gonna lie, I'll probably pop for it. I'll probably be excited for at least the beginning of it, and see where it goes. I'm not saying that he'll go back to WWE and it'll just be bad, but him leaving AEW is bad. Like, there's no reason. Like, okay, cool. Like, you're not in charge of booking anymore, but bro, like Tony trusts you. Tony doesn't. Yeah, he has the final say, but like I've said about Jericho, Jericho leeches on to people. You think Tony is like, oh, this person's hot right now, let me put him with Jericho? No, Jericho's like, hey, this person's really over right now, Tony, I want to work with them. And Tony's like, okay, yeah, sure. Like, I trust you, Jericho. So there's no way he wasn't giving Cody that same thing, because I doubt that Anthony Ogogo bullshit was Tony's idea, right? Like, whose idea definitely was that? And that's where it all started going wrong for Cody. So, like, because if Cody comes out and he says, if any of his decision to leave is because of how the fans treated him, and he pulls a fucking like Ronda Rousey about it, and he can't handle the fans disliking him, it's like, bro, like you're fucking clueless and you're tone deaf, because like, and that's the other thing about him leaving, is like, that makes all of this so much worse. So you never were going to turn heel. You really thought you could pull it off and stay babyface for no reason when you were heel before AEW, and it was great. You were heel. Bullet Club is fine. Bullet Club is mine. Like, that was great heel work. And so why did you think that you had to be a face all of AEW? Everything about this story, and again, we don't know everything yet, but all of it makes Cody Rhodes come off as unlikable and delusional, which is even worse, because they're at least unlikable could still be good, but I just don't see any upsides to this, because I don't think he's going to get the push. Like James said, he's not Roman Reigns, and there might not even be an available fucking world title like come WrestleMania because Lesnar and Reigns could be holding both of them. Like he wouldn't beat a Lesnar, he wouldn't beat Reigns. Maybe he'd beat Bobby because it's hard to tell where Bobby truly lies in the card right now. But like, and let's say he goes back and he wins the Intercontinental title. It was like, cool, what? Like that title's beneath the TNT title by a long shot. It's presented way lower. Quick, right now, who's the Intercontinental Champion?
Nakamura, because he hasn't defended in forever.
Sami
Well,
Zayn.
Yeah, technically, Sammy.
Is it Sammy?
It's Sami Zayn.
It's gonna happen this Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Like you weren't gonna watch anyway.
Well, no, but hopefully how this
anyone
episode
watching,
comes out after Friday.
Yeah.
All right, I love everybody here. This will probably come out Saturday.
Fair.
Probably. But there's just like there's no true upside. Like, what is he gonna do? Fight Triple H? The dude's barely alive. You can't fight Triple H right now. Like, there's no reason that's gonna it's true. Like, you can't wrestle right now. It's a bad idea if you did. He's like there's no upside for Cody going back. And it makes AEW look kind of bad, but I think it makes Cody Rhodes look so much worse because
I agree.
you founded a company, bro, and you're that frustrated after 3 years that you're leaving. Like, how talk about like entitlement, wanting instant gratification. Like, bro, it's been 3 years. It's like and you know what? You were great for the first year and a half. It's only 2021 that was bad for you. Like, it's not like the whole run's been. You were the best part of 2019 AEW. Granted, that's only 3 months, but like that was, or if you count back to like the summer, because I do count, what was it, Fighter Fest that he faced Dustin? Like,
Yeah.
Or you were the best part of this company at one point. Like, you really were. And because what? Because there's better people in here now. Like how are you gonna cut that promo and not work a program with Punk? Like, so you don't want to work with Punk? You don't want to work with Bryan Danielson? You want to work with Adam Cole? Like, did you cross everyone off on your list and they're like, oh, let me go back to WWE and face fucking Braun Breaker? Like, what? Who are you going back for? I don't understand.
It's clearly Ricochet.
And yeah, sure, like that. Would you rather see that match in WWE or AEW? Like that's, and you can say that for almost any potential matchup.
Damn.
We're gonna talk about Matt Cardona lately. Right, you don't want to fight him? Are you kidding me? Like, dude's on the run of his career right now, and you can't fight that match in WWE. Like, you could, and that's a more likely scenario. You're gonna have your fucking Miz and Mrs. beef with fucking the Miz, because I don't want to see that. No one wants to see that, especially because I don't think I think one of the rumors is that Brandy would not be coming with them to WWE, and you know what? I'm sorry that the crowd never got behind your wife because she never did anything of note to warrant that. And you know what? I'm not big on the whole nepotism thing, but like, this is one of the few cases where, whether it is or not, it's always going to come off as it. So, especially when your women's division is barely featured on TV, and then when half the time when it is, it's fucking Brandy. Like,
Kind of late.
Of late, yeah, she was the one getting in the promos with Dan Lambert, where
one promo
was going to fight Paige Van Zandt.
Two.
That was two. Excuse me, two.
Yeah, she's the one who brought Paige Van Zandt out. Like, we've all been waiting for Paige for how long, and then it's Brandy, and I like Brandy, I do, but come on,
yeah,
almost anybody else.
I'm curious to see if maybe that was a negotiation tactic. Be like, hey, we'll give you Paige Van Zandt. I don't know. I think the weirdest, or at least the most flabbergasting part of this for me, Chad, is if Cody's big beef is that he isn't booking anymore, he's going to a place now where he is going to have no say in the booking. So, like, what is he thinking?
Listen, I'll separate this from what I think and what I know. I'll be short, though. I'll give you both. What I think is, this is all something that just got out of hand. and it may be a work. I think he's just taking some time off and recuperating so he can be mentally fit, him and Brandy, so they can get to a better place, and then we'll talk renegotiations. This is what I know. I know that either way, if this is a work or if he goes back to WWE, I will be completely enraged. That's what I know. I will be fucking angry for all the reasons that you guys said. It totally depreciates AEW as the new AEW stan. I'm almost disgusted by him trying to go back to WWE. I see no point in it. I see no win for him. As Danny said, there's no upside to this situation at all. So I really hope it's a work. But then if it's a work, I'm going to be even more mad, because the fuck did you do all of this for?